Win, lose, draw.
Hello, welcome to the Win, Lose, Draw podcast. This is episode 27.
27.
We've got a fresh guest straight off the press today. We've got Baines. Hello.
Hello there. Nice to be here. Big fan.
And we've got the usual, Simon.
So many words, Simon. Thank you for
That was such a delay on that.
That's not the internet. That's just in processing.
I've got
it's been a long
unstable
day.
connection.
Oh, hate to see that. Great
No.
start.
Yeah,
Right.
It's going well.
Anyway. Oh, he is. He's on the move.
I'm going to move closer.
Closer to the Wi-Fi. Love that. Right. So let's crack straight into the news. What has happened since we last? Actually, quick little shout out. Win, Lose, Draws on the map. Got views. Real views.
Actual
Win, Lose,
views.
Draw's got views.
So, shout out to everyone who watched the
Linus.
Josh King video. Tell your friends.
What are we on now, views-wise?
Views, I think 360
360.
You
It's
know,
pretty good. It's pretty good.
is nearly the same amount as every other video combined so far. So things you love to see.
You do love to see it.
So other than
How are we looking for a quick subscriber update? What's
sub count 30. So anyone who's watching this, remember 100 by the end of the year is our target. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Should we crack onto the news?
Yeah.
All right, what's happened?
Liverpool.
Yeah, just Liverpool again, really,
Liverpool.
isn't it? The gift that keeps on giving for this show. You can only call them tin pots so many times, I'd imagine.
Oh,
but
We've done quite a lot recently, haven't we?
we have. It's been beautiful. It really has.
I think it's not only the results or the games themselves. It's the response and just watching that little explosion of this time. It's the injuries. Is it the injuries again? Oh,
Yeah.
It's the wind. It's the wind.
City had a break. I think that is something I get a particular enthusiasm for when seeing all the stuff online about them. Just love it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's what is that? 3 consecutive home defeats for Liverpool. First time they've ever done it.
Yeah, and yeah, as usual, when Liverpool do badly, they always sort of poke Roy Keane to have a little comment on it. And I particularly loved it about his little comment of they've been awful. Just
Can we get the little clip of Micah Richards and the clip that you showed him?
Yeah, I'll put that there.
Needs to go in there, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll put that there. I'll tell you, 27 episodes in, I still get the point wrong.
Which just
That way. Yeah, that's Micah Richards and Roy Keane is the bromance that you never expect.
It's not something I expected, but it's
Yeah.
great to watch.
yeah, absolutely.
Quite refreshing.
I'm here for it. And he's actually brought Roy out of his shell. Like he's being like quite cheeky.
It's no mean feat as well, Mr.
Yeah, imagine
Keane.
what Roy Keane's wife feels like. Micah Richards can do that.
But then again, I suppose I'm sure he's a bit nice with her. He's not like slide tackling her or shouting. Oh, he has that demeanour of someone who slates everything, doesn't he?
Oh,
Roy.
imagine. He sounds. But then Micah Richards has brought the best out of him. He's like, maybe he's actually all right. Maybe it's an all that for clicks.
Maybe.
Right. I mean, sticking on the Liverpool thing, Phil Foden, what a boy.
Indeed.
I don't want to get carried away, but I think he deserves a knighthood, and we're going to win everything.
I'm definitely on the Phil train now.
I'm big on the Phil train now. That's in the comments. If you're on the Phil train, give us a whoop whoop.
Phil train.
All aboard the Phil train. Any other news?
We've been in lockdown too long.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We could talk about the Phil train.
Yeah, this is what is it? Week 6 of lockdown. So I feel like Phil train is about the top level content I could produce at the moment. Oh dear. Right. Yeah. Any other news?
Newcastle won a game again,
Yeah,
they actually looked like they were playing football.
Yeah.
Which
Have they turned a corner?
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many corners in the club. It's hard to tell if they're walking around one or about to walk into one. So it's interesting. But the lovely little Bournemouth link there of the coach that we've got has decided to
Yeah.
actually sort of
Yeah,
make
maybe he's
it
brought
a bit
some
more
knowledge.
Well, I mean,
dynamic.
them performing has kind of turned on him arriving.
Yeah,
Which is,
absolutely.
I mean, he didn't have any real impact at Bournemouth, so.
No, I mean, I think from watching them for the last sort of few weeks, they've been just unfit. It almost looks like they've been going at sort of 70% intensity for a lot of them. And if you get players like Willokin who just run, it's exactly what they need.
Yeah,
really.
St. Maximin back as well. That's big.
He's so quick.
Yeah, because was he out with like long COVID, wasn't he?
He had long COVID, but then there were rumours that it impacted his fitness, and obviously I think where you get long COVID it affects your muscles, and he had an injury later last year, correct me if I'm wrong, and it played with that.
Kind of
So
flared it up, yeah.
Even injured, he's still better than Fraser. So
I mean, don't get me started, but yeah.
Speaking of Bournemouth, you got an update for us?
Yeah, we got Harry Redknapp's on board.
Yeah,
hey.
Little advisor, Uncle Harry. He's lives in Bournemouth. Breathes Bournemouth. I genuinely, I think he'd be an amazing director of football at Bournemouth. I think it would be perfect.
I think so.
But
yeah, that'd be a good show.
It sounds like Woodgate. It's like a common thing. Apparently, it's like it's been played down a bit. It's like Woodgate's basically phoned him for a bit of advice, been like, "Can you be like?" There's no official announcement. It's just that kind of like informal,
informal deal.
You know, the club.
Give us a hand, lad.
Yeah, give us a hand, pretty much. And apparently that happens loads, but because it's Harry and it's Bournemouth, everyone's like, "Wow."
Yeah.
He might as well own it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But genuinely, I would think that would be perfect. Like proper like final job in football, apart from punditry, for Harry Redknapp. It's just director of football.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting the transfers you get?
You would get some ridiculous signings, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You've not thought about Wilshere at all with his goal.
His looping header,
Yeah.
That was Ronaldo-esque. That was.
It was.
It was. Jump. It was a shocking game, but.
Yeah. Nice. To be honest, yeah, you watched that and I didn't, and what a relief for me.
Trying to think of any other news. I can't think of much else that's gone on.
I think. I think that's it. So I think we'll move swiftly onto today's topic. So yeah, today's topic we're having a look at Premier League managers and a few others we'll discuss, but we're going to rank them in not on ability, on pretty much just judging their personalities. Who would we rather go for a pint with? And we'll go for all the clubs. We'll decide a top three and a bottom three, and then a few honourable mentions of past managers,
legends
and villains.
Legends and villains. And fair warning, Baines is a Newcastle fan, so there's one guy that will probably almost definitely come up as a villain.
Yeah, definitely he's on there.
Yeah.
You already know he's on there, but I made him his own list.
It's a little clue for you.
Yeah. Right, so
should we crack on?
Get started.
Arsenal, Mikel Arteta.
You see, I put him on my boring list. He seems like a decent chap, sort of, for managing a football club. I can't imagine he's got the ability to go into a pint and drink a pint with San Miguel with much enthusiasm. You know, he
seems like a red wine.
He does. It's a red wine, a few olives, and then he's having a meal. It's not a drink affair. Just to have a laugh.
I get the vibe of sort of like mid-afternoon Spain having like one of those mini glasses of Estrella or something.
Yeah.
But not really like pint in a pub.
Yeah.
No, not really.
I don't imagine his chat. He's probably got some interesting stories, but
do you want to listen to them?
You don't get.
You'd want to talk football, whereas we're looking at this like, I bet he's a lovely bloke.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's lovely, but he does resonate that sort of quiet, calm demeanor.
He looks like the sort of person that you'd be like if he was your stepdad, you'd be like, he's not that bad. I don't like him because he's with my mum, but he's all right.
That pretty much sums him up, I think, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good summary.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd probably agree. Arteta's probably like mid to low for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, onto Villa. Dean Smith.
Oh, I put him on my definite no list.
Definite no.
He just seems a bit too grumpy.
He'd be a bit whingy.
He's the one who's there on his phone complaining about a gas bill when you're 45 minutes into the drink. You know, he's unhappy about something and he's bringing it with him. Very good man, good manager, but
Yeah. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I've never seen anything that warrants any kind of playfulness or kind of enjoyment from him. Like, he does a good job as a manager, but I don't get pint vibes.
No, it's a grumpy pint of John Smith and he's going home. That's the vibes I get from him.
Yeah.
It's definite. Yeah, it's definite. John Smith's or like he'll pick the house ale.
Yeah.
And then moan about it.
It's not bubbly enough. It's just not right.
There's too many bubbles in this one.
It just might as well not bothered.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. He'd moan about something. I don't know much about him, so I don't know how interesting he'd be either compared to some of the others.
Yeah, I think definitely comparison-wise, I think there's a lot more better options out there.
Like we're saying this, if we ever met him, I'm sure I'd have a lot of chat.
I'm sure I'll have a beer with him, but at this moment in time, I'm not seeing too much.
Given the tapas selection on offer at the moment, I think we've got other options.
Yeah, that's what would you say? We're almost higher or lower it. Better than Arteta or not? I'd say lower.
I'm going to go lower than Arteta. Yeah. At least you can work out a nice red from Arteta.
Yeah, he'd pick out a lovely red. You know. Right, on to Brighton. We've got Potter.
Mr. Potter.
Oh. The irony is there's not much magic there, is there? He's in my boring one as well. I mean, seems nice enough, but I don't know. I'm going to go higher than Dean Smith, but probably lower than Arteta, I reckon.
Yeah, I'd probably put him higher than both so far.
Yeah,
I think.
Same. It's a tough one.
Yeah, he's a bit plain. He's a bit plain, but he's coached in, what was it? Was it Norway? So I feel like he's got some interesting stories of his travels, at least.
Yeah, no, I reckon he'd be good to have a chat with.
Yes, Swedish club, Östersund. So he's had a bit of a.
I just tried to search for Graham Potter. I just tried to type Graham into
Just, who's first?
Just bring someone called Graham side, that'd be fine.
Got to be Norton, isn't it?
I've got Graham homepage, specialising in building civil engineering.
Oh yeah.
Graham the plumber's merchant. I got something.
What?
Yeah, well, you know how we thought Foden was the peak of lockdown. So I'm talking about plumbers merchants. I think it's got a bit further.
Actually, that's again in the comments. Who's your favourite Graham?
Yeah,
let us know.
If you want him to have a mention, write a comment.
What is that? Right, I'll put that on the screen. I'll put what Simon sent me.
Oh dear, no.
That's you as well, mate.
Interesting.
That third one in needs to be the thumbnail.
Right.
It's that thing from a few years ago where people in Australia, they designed how we'd look if we were designed to survive car crashes.
Oh, yeah. That is the fact you remember that. That is, you've plucked that from the back of my memory. Right.
We need to try and get back onto managers. Not quite sure you do that.
Unreal. Right.
Great. Final thoughts on Graham.
Final thoughts on Graham. Better than Arteta. Better than Dean Smith. Still middle of the road.
Yeah.
I think I would genuinely like to hear about his football style.
Yeah.
And how he's getting on Brighton.
Oh yeah, that's what actually similar with Arteta. I'll probably put Arteta above Potter so far.
Yeah, there's also the Guardiola link with Arteta as well that I think you could ask him about
Yeah,
that.
I bet he's got some good stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on to Burnley, and we've probably a bit of a fan favourite, I reckon. Dyche, Sean Dyche. What are we saying, Simon?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. I think he's the strongest contender so far. He seems hilarious, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's had a few top quality interviews recently. It was his Lucky Likey one. He had one today talking about Harry Redknapp. And he said he's terrific, and then was like, oh, you know what? I've used his favourite term there.
No, he's there's been a few stories of him having a drink as well, so you'd know it. Whereas I think with like Dean Smith, he's having one and going home. I think he'd have more than one.
And he was on Peter Crouch's podcast, and he put himself pretty well there. Yeah, and
he was.
Crouch for his time at Burnley, even though what was it, a year or two, he was absolutely he's such a good laugh.
That interview was so refreshing. The one the other day.
The Lucky Likey one, yeah.
Just to see a manager just like completely relax and just have some fun. Like, it's not like Lampard when he has like, a little bit of joke now, serious. A little bit of joke now, serious. It's like it was just proper relaxed and just a bit of fun.
Yeah. No one gives your mate at the pub vibes more than Dyche, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well,
I think there is a contender somewhere along the line that could maybe knock into him, but we'll get onto him later.
There are a couple. I definitely think, but yeah, Dyche he's high.
Dyche is up there. Yeah, highest contender so far, definitely.
And I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of anything bad. Imagine if you said a wrong thing, he's going to rinse you. He's the sort of one, I bet.
Yeah.
If
definitely.
If he can find a spot and he'll get some laughs
sniff
out
out
of
your
it.
weaknesses.
Oh, he will.
It's the laughing though.
It's like a strong, solid Burnley team. Any weaknesses, they'll on them. Right. Should we go on to Chelsea? So that would have been Frank Lampard, but got to do current manager. We go Tuchel. What's your thoughts?
I just don't know enough about him. I think he could be quite interesting, but it's the same sort of Arteta kind of thing. The like with Dyche, he sort of resonates a character, doesn't he? Like of a sort of person you could have a chat with and a laugh. I don't know much about Tuchel. I really don't. It's not the same.
Yeah. Again, football-wise, I think it'd be very interesting. Like he's managed Dortmund, managed PSG. To hear what it's like to be like actually working with Neymar and Mbappe, things like that would be pretty interesting. Sure, he's got some lovely stories of weird goings on at PSG as well, with like multi-million pound deals and whatever. But yeah, personality-wise, seems all right.
Yeah, we don't really know enough about him yet, do we?
No, he's no language barrier though. He speaks very good English, like every German does.
Like most Europeans do.
Like most Europeans do.
Yeah, that was very Brexit of me.
It was a bit, wasn't it?
Bring it up, to be honest. Probably Tuchel. I'd say above Arteta. He gives across slightly less condescending vibes than Arteta.
Yeah, I feel like also the German link, he's above Arteta for me as well, because you reckon he knows a good beer of some kind, isn't he? Like a good craft beer
really
of some sort.
Something very tasty.
But yeah, I think probably not close to Dyche though. Yeah.
No.
I think it's basically, are you in the mood for a beer, or do you fancy a glass of red? That's how you choose between Tuchel and
Arteta, definitely.
Absolutely.
Right, on to Crystal Palace. Roy. I mean, he's a bit old.
He's a bit.
It just goes to the puppy granddad, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Do you want a half pint or a pint? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Ask me in a minute after yours.
It's a shandy top for him these days, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a difficult one, actually, I think, because he's obviously well travelled, speaks many languages, but it's just the granddadness.
It is, isn't it?
It's the granddadness, and he's. I don't think he'd be that open either. I think he'd kind of waffle on, but he wouldn't really like. There's so many things that he's like. You look at his career; he's been Inter Milan caretaker. He's Switzerland manager, UAE manager, Finland, Fulham, Liverpool, England, Copenhagen, Udinese. That's just plucking a few out. And then Crystal Palace for so long. But you'd like, it would be listening to him waffle on about something.
Crisps. Like you want to hear him talk about England and the World Cup and everything, and he just starts talking about whether or not kettle chips are really the best.
I do think, it's too much of a granddad vibe, isn't it?
A little bit.
You definitely go into an old man pub with him, aren't you? You're not going to somewhere trendy. It's going to be somewhere dark and dusty.
Yeah.
It's there's a big part of me that wants to it's just too niche, but we could literally name a pub in Wimborne for every single one of these managers.
You definitely could, yeah. That's quite true.
Roy would be the Cricketers, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut this because it's just too niche, but without a doubt, it'd be Cricketers or Oddfellows.
Oddfellows, I think.
Oddfellows, yeah.
Yeah. Right. No more Wimborne pub talk because it is too niche.
That makes us miss the pub.
Yeah. Right. Everton. Ancelotti.
Yeah, I had to think who it was then for a second.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Baines?
I think without Ancelotti, I think the football chat would be really interesting.
Yeah.
But that would be kind of it. I mean, he doesn't project a happy man.
He never cracks a smile, or rarely.
No, he doesn't. I mean, like if you compare it to another sort of manager that could maybe have more enthusiasm, someone like Claudio Ranieri, I put on like an honourable mention. He'd be so fun. He'd constantly want a little chat, and he'd be talking about this and that. You don't get that same vibe, do you?
No, I know what you mean. Like again, he's won it all sort of thing. I think he would be it would be interesting purely football, but just for a little chat, I feel like it'd be a little bit too serious or just quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't want to sort of stone gargoyle. Yeah.
You get a good initial chat and a bit of football chat, but I feel like the conversation would die off quite quickly.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he'd just be done.
He'd shrug his shoulders and go home.
Yeah, a bit like Everton's season.
Shrug shoulders.
Yeah, 6 weeks in lockdown. No apologies. Thanks to all the Everton fans who clicked to the clickbait title for that Josh King video.
Yeah.
Right. Any more to say on Ancelotti? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
No.
All right, on to Fulham. This one, I reckon this could split opinions. Scott Parker.
I've got him on my definite no list.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. He strikes me as the kind of guy who's getting a Carlsberg and is just not enjoying himself. You know, he's having a chat, he's having a good conversation about the odd thing, but it just doesn't really flow conversation wise. You know, even with like Arteta, you could get into some interesting topics. I mean, no offense to the Fulham fans watching, but it just doesn't seem like he's got the same level of football expertise to talk to them. You know?
I reckon he'd be quite high for me. I reckon. I think he's a bit of a London geezer. I'd see him as the sort of bloke. He'd be in the smoking area, not smoking, just hanging out with his mates. He'd be one of those.
Getting some secondhand smoke.
Secondhand smoke and good vibes. That's what he'd be.
Yeah, I think he's also quite highly rated one for me, partly because of Tottenham links.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah, I suppose Tottenham.
Bit bias.
But also I think after one or two beverages, he'd probably like lighten up and start.
Yeah.
Like telling you stories about Crouch or something.
Yeah, I reckon he's got some interesting
so,
football stories. Because what is he? Charlton, West Ham, Tottenham. There's a lot of London clubs. So it was kind of like, did he go to Chelsea in the end? I think he did. Or did he not? So. He turned it down, didn't he?
West Ham, is that?
He definitely did West Ham, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine him in like a London pub somewhere.
I think I would gladly be wrong and him not to be like that. I don't know.
Chelsea.
I was kind of doing it on the first pint, you know, that sort of first initial conversation.
Yeah.
I think he is one of those. You're right. That after like a few drinks, he could be a bit more.
Yeah. And I kind of did it. He's only 40. Like the age gap's not as big.
Yeah, I thought that as
Yeah.
well.
Like Ancelotti, like we're in our mid-20s. We're not going to have that much in common. Where someone like Scott Parker, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe.
But I put probably he's not top 3, but he's probably quite high. Scott Parker for me. Definitely not Dyche territory.
No, he's not. No.
Right, on to Leeds and Bielsa, or Bielsa's translator.
There's 2 of them. You got to buy more drinks.
Yeah. That's a good point. No, Premier League managers, on the premise of this, they're paying.
Fair.
Oh, that's a good point. Which out of the ones we said wouldn't pay?
Dean Smith's not paying, is he? Come on.
Dean Smith's not paying.
Arteta's paying, but he's what you know.
Arteta's paying it, but he'll mention it next time.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
Roy's paying, but he'll fumble with his change.
He's took a £50 note or something.
I just putting it on the tab and saying we'll sort it later.
Yeah, right. Bielsa, what are we thinking?
I forgot
I'd be
about
scared.
Bielsa. Yeah. I might be a bit scared actually. He just he did his awkward sort of squat in the corner with his beer in one hand. But
he brings his bucket everywhere. He
just his bucket. He just sits on it. Like. I mean, I don't.
Head teacher vibes.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to the pub with a head teacher.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, you trust me. I've done that. You don't.
Yeah, I bet he's got some amazing football stories. Like, what is he? He managed Pochettino, he's managed Messi, managed some huge players. He's done quite a bit, but a bit scary.
Yeah, a bit scary.
But then I don't know, because all the articles and stories I see of Leeds, he seems lovely. Like
he would have some good stories.
He bought a little house in a village, and he's just like comes out and chats to everyone. Or
like the story of the blue paint on his bicycle that he cycled along to the ground on the and got it all over the tarmac. It all sounds quite interesting, but at the same time quite scary. Maybe take the translator, leave Bielsa at home.
I think he's one of those that he seems a bit scary. 2 pints in, you're like, oh, what a lovely man.
Yeah.
I'd probably put him middle of the road, mainly because he's a bit scary.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I bet he's lovely. Right, Leicester, Brendan.
See, I don't know. I reckon Brendan could be quite fun. Do you know? He'd have bad luck, and he'd be the kind of friend that. Correct me. There might be one of these in our friendship group that stubs his toe and spills his drink, and just be quite entertaining. Yeah, it might be. But no, I can imagine him being quite entertaining. Brendan, and he's got some good stories as well.
Only because David Brent vibes. He's got big David Brent.
He does have big Brent
vibes. Oh yeah. I was gonna say but now you've mentioned the David Brent vibes. I have to just hear some of his lines.
Entertainment factor, it'd be amazing. Like he feels like he'd have to make a comment on everything that's happening. Like any little silences, he'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
And again, good stories. I'd like the sort of. I think he'd probably be quite honest as well. I feel like he's like I feel like if you're in a pub asking about like what happened at Liverpool.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about like the Gerrard slip and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like his experience in Celtic, I think it's probably quite interesting. Because wasn't he Mourinho's assistant as well at Chelsea years ago?
Yeah. I've seen pictures of them together at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got some more interesting. Like he's got quite an interesting career path. It's the Northern Irish voice as well. He's it's a friendly voice.
Yeah. You could definitely have a good old chat with him. It'd be quite interesting to see how it's like managing Vardy and things like that. I think it'd be he'd have some good stories. So he's up there for me, I think, actually, Brent. Even if he is quite Brent.
He's massively Brent. I don't know anyone in football that's more David Brent than him.
The guy from the Sunderland documentary, the owner, that guy. That's the only one I can think of that's slightly more.
Yeah, I'd love a documentary where Brendan's involved.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All or nothing with him would be great. This is this is Brendan Rodgers' senior football career. He played for Ballymena United, Reading, Newport in brackets Isle of Wight, Whitney Town, and Newbury Town. That was it.
Oh wow!
He had 3 years at Reading where he didn't play. That was his professional career. But he finished in '96, and he got the Watford job as a manager in 2008. There's probably a bit of a slog to get manager, but even that would be quite interesting. I think surprisingly he's quite high, I say. Brendan.
I'd put him quite high.
Right, on to the next L. So Liverpool, we got Jurgen. Yeah, I reckon everyone's opinions would be very different probably 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
In what way do you mean?
I think he was so likable a couple of years ago, and I feel like people's opinions have changed a bit.
He's got a little bit less likable. One, on the fact of them winning the league and the way the whole sort of Liverpool fan base around them winning the league. It's been a while apparently since they last won it. That's what
apparently it had. Yeah.
But I think also recently it's just been a bit whiny. When we talk about the news, them not winning games and what have you, it's a bit less likable. But I think he's still up there.
He liked to moan.
He's still up there. Yeah.
But yeah, he's a unique character in football. I think I'd still want to have a pint with him.
Yeah.
But also the German factor. Like he's not been on German beer adverts for nothing. He clearly knows that. He clearly knows about a pint. That's why Erdinger have sponsored.
When he was Dortmund manager, that was like everyone was like he would be amazing for a pint. And early days at Liverpool, he was just like this interesting. He always gave really good interviews, but I feel like that's one of the big things. He's been a bit rude to reporters for about a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also because that he was in manager for Liverpool during the banter years, as people often talk about them, where they would
stop them being in the banter years. Yeah.
Yeah, he stopped them being in the banter, and since he's come out that other side, and it looks like them slowly sliding back to the world of banter, 7-0 to Villa and what have you. He's just got a bit more grumpy with it. I think if he had a bit more of a fun demeanour, he'd be a lot higher on my list.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think for me, it's quite a telling. Like anyone who's like quite like regularly rude to reporters and things is like, well, if they're going to be rude to a reporter, they're not going to be nice to a bar staff, are they? And like, oh yeah, is that? I don't even know what I was going to use as an example there, so we'll cut that. Anything else on Klopp?
Don't think so.
No. Yeah, nice summary. Probably would have been top 3 not that long ago, but been a bit grumpy for about a year. You just won the league.
Cheer up.
Right. Guardiola.
I don't know. He's similar to Arteta for me. He would be so interesting to talk about, especially, I mean, he's got so many years of experience. He's managed some of the best players of all time. He's in there with one of my sort of honourable mentions. He was quite close to Bobby Robson. I don't know if you've seen the documentary on him, and that would be a fascinating thing to learn about. So he's quite high up on mine, but it's the same thing of you don't know if he's going to have a wine or he's having a beer or if he'd be that interesting. It's hard really to get a gauge on him.
Yeah, I think it would be similar with like he's less grumpy than Klopp, but like he's one of the best coaches in the world. So I think he'd have to be high because it'd just be cool. But yeah, I know what you mean. He's a little bit like, I don't know.
He has the potential. I think the best way to describe it is to be quite sterile in the way he's just talking, and he'll tell you about all the different formations he's used. And because he's so good at what he does, that would shine through. Whereas I think with Dyche, it's like, yeah, we did this, and this, 4-4-2, and then he headbutted the stands. Like, you know, there'd be that element of hilarity, which I don't think you get with Guardiola.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it'll be, if it was just purely football based, and it, like, you're going to talk football most likely, or we are at least. So that's probably where he pushes quite high in a way. But anything outside of that, not too sure.
For me, it's mainly because of that Barcelona team like 10 years ago. I'd want to hear like every detail about that.
Yeah.
About the tiki-taka and Messi and...
Yeah, because he basically transformed a generation of football pretty much with that team.
Yeah.
And they just dominated.
So I think that's potential top 3 for me.
Really? I'd say he's top 5 for me.
Yeah, I think I had him 4. He's quite high up there for me.
Yeah, he's definitely high just because of his experiences, I think. But yeah, the thing is, he's so interesting. Yeah, no, I think I'd put him top 3 because he's so interested when it comes to football. You don't need to talk about anything else.
Yeah, you get that.
Yeah, and it's not like, I doubt he'd get sick of it either because he just absolutely loves it.
Loves it, yeah.
He's quite good at it.
Mm.
He's quite a good player as well. And like you said, the Bobby Robson factor probably does push it for me.
Yeah, that's he was up there my 3/4 because of that. Because it's got that amazing sort of football history about him, about his rise and his managing style as well. And some of the football City have played, I mean, over the last few seasons, it is so good.
Yeah.
Like, so good. Back to Bruce.
Right. Yeah. So before we get to Brucey, we'll go other side of Manchester to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I hope he's brought his ID.
Yeah, he's getting searched. He's getting searched.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ole was on my boring list as well. I don't think he's that interesting. I think there'd be good conversations with him talking about, you know, the great Manchester United teams of yore. But
yeah, and that Champions League goal winner he scored.
Yeah, that Champions League goal. But I just don't have him and his personality. Sorry, Ollie. As being that sort of standout for me.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like, he'd have some interesting stories, especially about United. Other than that, I don't know. It's kind of like he's got this Norwegian Manc accent and personality.
His accent
Mancunian, not
Manky.
That was there.
Cut that.
Yeah, cut that. Just want to call Ollie a Manc.
And yeah, like he's got this like Norwegian Mancunian like accent and personality, and I feel like it's quite a good mix. I think he probably would be quite a laugh. Like, even when the going's been a bit tough, he's still reasonably light-hearted in his interviews.
Yeah, which as a United manager, it's not easy to do, is it? Let's face it. It's a tough gig.
I think middle of the road for me.
Yeah,
I think he's having some good bits, some bad, but I wouldn't choose him.
No, I wouldn't choose him.
Yeah, steady middle of the road. I think that's fair. On to Newcastle then. Brucey.
He was in my top 3 just because I mean, for a lot of people on this list, you want to know what's inside that football mind because of all the brilliant football things they've done or what they've achieved and the great strategies and characters, as it were, or they'd be good fun. I just want to know what he's doing in his like. He's in my top 3. I want to know his plans. I want to know the tactics. I want to know what, you know. I mean, I think some of them, like, you got Klopp, you got Guardiola, Bielsa, that they've got great football philosophies. I just would love to know what Bruce is thinking, really. I'd just love to know what he's thinking. I'd also love to know if he's been privy to any of the criticism from Geordie fans of him, because it's brutal.
Oh, yeah, he must have.
Like,
surely.
the true Geordie and other people like that. I think he'd be quite a nice bloke as well, but I just would love to know what's going on in his head, because what's going on in his head? Discuss.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know really with him. I think he's a bit middle of the road for me. Again, probably quite like he played for United. during the Ferguson era, the early Ferguson era, but still, he's kind of managed most of the English clubs that have struggled with relegation at some point. I think he'd be he seems friendly enough though, doesn't he?
He does seem friendly.
Yeah,
he does have
so.
quite a sort of dulcet tone about his voice as well. It's like,
Yeah.
especially when they've lost games, he's there going, we'll do all right next time. He's quite a nice guy. So that's why he made my top 3. But there's no surprise there, is there?
He does. What about you, Simon?
Yeah, I think he's towards the top of the table. Just seems quite friendly fella.
Lovely bloke. Yeah.
No more to add than that, really.
No.
It's not more than that.
Yeah, I think we let the Newcastle fan run with that one.
A little bit.
I feel like depending on
nice.
which Newcastle fan we got on, that could have gone either way. That could have been top 3 or bottom 3.
Yeah,
Easy.
I don't know. I think go on the question. Yeah, going for a pint. I think Bruce
As a person, even then, I think a lot of Newcastle fans would probably be like, you know what, he's all right.
But then a lot of fans would just get very angry and start shouting at the mic.
Pretty much. Right. Sheffield United and another one, Chris Wilder.
Yeah.
He's kind of Dean Smith territory for me.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, Dean Smith territory.
I don't think he's too happy at the moment as well, because his team's bottom of the table.
You'd get it in the ear about VAR, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you just would.
You'd be watching a game in the pub. They'll check one offside. It'll be fine. They'll be like, yep, that's correct decision, all good. But it'll go a bit, he's like that VAR, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, it's a little bit on transmit as well. He also has that characteristic of someone who eats a packet of crisps really loud. I don't know if that's the only thing I wrote down on him, to be fair. I've got middle of the road, crisps loud. You can't say I'm wrong.
No, I'll tell you what, we'll never know.
I can see him buying like a massive pack of ready salted.
Yeah.
The grab bag ones from behind the bar. Go with John Smith.
It's very, very pedestrian. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah. I bet he'd be the sort of person, he'd turn his nose up. If anyone's getting like a newer sort of like IPA or something, he'd be like, stick to the proper beers and the ales, lad.
What's punk?
Yeah. Brewdog, what is this? Brewdog, if you want to sponsor us, I know channels with 30 subscribers will always
probably
shout you
not
out.
On the adverts. Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have any adverts, but just sponsor every video, please.
What would they call our beer? A bit of win-lose draw beer.
Win-lose draft.
Win-lose draft. There we go. Right, Brewdog. Win-lose draft. We've got it ready for you. I think we found our new end goal.
Which is just a separate IPA.
Someone just to sponsor us with a win-lose draft. We'll push to 8 arch and then we'll go bigger after that.
Yeah.
Again, win more niche. Right, on to Southampton. Ralph Hasenhüttl.
I don't know. He's in the middle of the road again for me. He's not particularly interesting. He's not particularly negative. But on the basis of that recent result, I think we know which one I'm talking about. I think he'd be a bit sad.
And all like be in the pub and it's like, right, how many pints is it? Is that 9 pints? 9, yeah. And he'd just be like, yeah, all right, I get it. So that 9 pints. Or is that just Leicester? No, Man U? I cannot believe they've done it twice.
Yeah, I can't believe they've done it twice.
I think he'd be nice. I think he'd be a lovely bloke.
Yeah, I think he'd be nice. Then again, he's middle of the road for me. Just nothing too exciting.
Yeah.
But I don't really know enough about him. Like, there hasn't really, apart from those 9-0s, he's not really known for anything else.
No, he's just fairly competent, fairly with it, but tragedy.
Yeah. And he's not very negative though, so I think he's well in the top half for me. I think he's because he's just even with obviously the 9-0s, they weren't happy interviews, but they wouldn't be.
No.
In general, yeah. I'd say
it's the kind of loss that it's so bad it's funny.
Yeah.
like if you lose like 5-6 now, it's like, oh, that was awful. When you lose 9-0, it's like,
Yeah. I feel like Southampton fans probably disagree with you after the second
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
Tottenham, Jose.
Oof.
It's split opinions as well. I feel like he's a man that splits opinions.
What are you saying, Si?
It's a really difficult one because I was thinking about it, it's like I would want to because obviously it's Tottenham, but I don't know. Just my Siri thinks I said I didn't want to eat Tottenham or something. I don't know.
I don't want to eat Tottenham.
Don't eat. No one wants to eat Tottenham.
It's difficult because obviously like it's like Guardiola level, isn't it? He's like top draw.
He's won it all, yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking I know what goes on behind the scenes because I've seen the documentary, so I don't really need to know about that. But I don't know. I can just get feeling he'd be quite grumpy.
Yeah, I put him on my no list just for the sheer grump factor.
It depends what mood he's in. It really does.
It does, but like you can often see a lot about someone when they go to the pub, and
Yeah.
I feel like Jose gets there and they haven't got his favourite beer, or he's a bit off.
Anything small would set him off.
Yeah, like if we get you're not taking him to a spoons, you've got to go a bit higher than that as well.
He'd be making him change the keg 5 minutes before closing time, wouldn't he?
Yeah. He's
I don't care. I want this beer.
Yeah, I want
3 times. Respect.
Respect.
Yeah, I mean, no idea how much they paid him, but judging by the Paddy Power advert, he does seem like he doesn't take himself too seriously. But they could have paid him shitloads. So,
although thinking about it, his Instagram is quite funny. Like he's definitely taking the piss with his posts.
He does, but I think that's why he was on my nose as well, because I thought about the banter that he's got. He's quite funny at points, but then I don't know if I could trade those off. He went from grumpy to banter just very quickly. If he was in the pub.
It's hard to determine the source of his humor, whether it's kind of just pure spite and grumpiness, or whether he's actually funny.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Time with him to find out.
Yeah, I'd say again, he's probably reasonably high for me, but
yeah, he's definitely up there.
If you catch him on a bad day, a bit like
I don't know if he'd get into top 3, to be honest.
No. Want to again? I think this could be a bit of a contender. He's Big Sam, West Brom.
He's on my top 3. I think he'd be hilarious. I think as much as he's got some very silly stories, but I reckon he'd be absolutely hilarious. Old guys.
You'd just love to like just mention the FA and that would just set him off, or the England job, and just be like, there we go. You could just like mention a topic and just let him run with it.
Laughing at football players or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, he's on my list. Definitely up there.
I'd like to know what he thinks of the memes about him.
Yeah, that'd be quite an interesting.
Staring up, looking at the chippy and stuff.
Yeah, like some of those, because he only ever does really like Sky Sports interviews, or he doesn't really do anything like a bit more informal. So I feel like that would be a great like guest. So Big Sam, if you want to come on, 'cause he's watching.
4-4-2.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good laugh, and he doesn't take himself seriously. And again, so many interesting stories. I reckon he'd be an interesting one.
Yeah,
he might sneak into my top 3. I'll decide. Right, on to West Ham. So, David Moyes.
No.
It's a no from me.
It's a no from me. It's just a no.
Yeah,
Simon?
I'd ask him about the memes and then leave.
Yeah, memes and leave.
Yeah, and he'd just be like, memes? What are you talking about?
I'd ask him how his agent managed to get him jobs in Spain, because I've no idea how that happened.
Yeah.
But that would probably come up as offensive, and I'd have to leave because it upset him. But no,
Yeah. I don't think he'd be much fun.
no, neither do I. Neither do I.
I don't know what I'd talk about really.
No.
There's not a lot that about his career that I'm like, oh yeah, that stands out. Like he's just at Everton a long time.
Yeah,
went to Man U
it was a
and
long
then
tried
time.
Man U.
Bit harshly treated at Man United, but
Yeah.
And then now he seems to be doing all right at West Ham, but I don't think he's not up there for me. No.
I would like to know, like, how he found Fellaini and things like that. That'd be one thing I'd like to know about him. It's where he's loving with Fellaini. Like, was it a scout? Did he just go, that tall man with an afro, please?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? So we got to talk about that.
That's all I've got. That's all I've got on David Moyes. Oh, I would like to know if the real reason Wilfred Zaha didn't do great at United was because he slept with Moyes' daughter. That would be something to ask him.
That would be, but it's not a nice
That was the
thing to
rumour.
ask him.
No, so I'd like to stress allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, not much on him. So final one, Nuno.
Yeah, big yes.
Yeah,
for me.
Big yeah.
I think yes for me as well. Actually, he's not my top three, but he's up
Friendly
there.
vibes.
Yeah,
Seems like he'd have a good chat about football styles and how he
football
finds
styles and
some players.
other stuff as well. I reckon he's got a bit more about him than just football.
Yeah, looks like a sort of big personality as well. I think that'd be quite nice.
I'd be interested to know why he went for Wolverhampton.
Yeah, because he's Portuguese and it's kind of a rite of passage, isn't it? That'd be like, did Wolves say come to Wolves and sign lots of Portuguese players, or were they just like, well, we've got this Portuguese agent who will just do it all for us? Don't you worry.
Yeah. That's definitely the next documentary they need to make. Like
Wolves would be quite an interesting one.
I think Wolves would be an interesting one with looking at all the different players and bits. And there's so many dynamics to that team that could be fascinating, like the Traore thing. And I just think, he's up there for me. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like that. Right. So top three, Simon. Who would you say if you had a night at the pub, us three, and the rule of 6 is still on, so you got to pick 3 more. Who would you go with?
So I'm gonna stick with Guardiola, as I said, and then obviously you mentioned John Dyche, so I have him as well. Bit of a personality clash there, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then the last one, I'm leaning towards Big Sam. I'm gonna stick with Big Sam, but I feel like if there was one I was gonna swap out, it would be him.
All right, and a bottom 3. We'll go with that as well.
Dean Smith, Moisey, and Chris Wilder.
Nice. Baines, top 3.
So top 3, I'm going to go Dyche, Allardyce, and then Steve Bruce. What's going on?
And you'd have a lovely conversation about Brexit.
I don't know. I think he's got too much to think about how he's going to fit his players in the team. I don't know how he can exit a whole country. He doesn't know how to exit the ball at our half. So for my nose, I'm going for Dean Smith, Wilder, and then Jose. I think.
Oh, Jose is a big no. Oh.
Jose's a big no. I feel like I'd irritate him. I would irritate him. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He's not the city still. But,
right. I'd go for Dyche. I think it's a no-brainer. Jose. And then I think I'd go Brendan. I think those as a 3 would be amazing. I think those 3 would like bounce off each other really.
I think that'd be quite funny actually.
Yeah. So that'd be my night out, and you've got a bit of banter coming from everyone, and Jose might storm off at some point if someone really upsets him. But
Brendan doesn't know he's done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll go that. And then my nose, Moisey, Dean Smith, and Klopp. I'm gonna.
Klopp.
Ooh. That's for you,
Klopp
Harris.
at the moment.
That's
but
for you,
yeah,
Harris. Yeah, indeed.
Right then. So another honourable mentions for past managers for the best. Who would you say? So we say could do a
It's
3
tough.
again if there's 3 that from the past.
Top ones, Rafa. I think it'd be very interesting. Rafa Benitez. I think how he managed to win anything with a Newcastle side, even if it was in the Championship, is mad. I've said Ranieri before. I think he would also be a great lad, Claudio Ranieri. I can't really think of a third, to be honest. But they're my sort of honourable mentions.
Right, nice. Any from you, Simon?
I'd probably go Pochettino.
Yeah.
Because
Lovely
Champions
bloke.
League,
Yeah.
Tottenham, lovely. Want to hear all about it. And then probably get Harry Redknapp in as well. I know he's a little bit older now, but I feel like
Chat
still
he's
be
definitely
fun.
got the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You could chat for days.
Yeah.
It's a bit like who was it we were saying? Like you could just mention like it's like Big Sam. You could just kind of mention a topic and let him go.
Let him rip.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
him run with it. He's he's off.
And Harry's got all sorts of stories as well. He was like best friends with Jeff Hurst. He was
Yeah, and outside football as well, like
Yeah.
the jungle.
jungle. Yeah. Oh yeah. Harry's got it all. I'd probably, I mean, a bit of a cop out, but I'll probably have a mix of Ranieri, Pochettino, and Redknapp. I reckon.
Yeah, I think that's
Obviously, a lot of time for Eddie Howe. Obviously.
right. Onto the worst ones.
To the worst. Right, and I'll let you run away with this one, babe.
Pardew. Alan Pardew, I hate him. He was so, like, I looked at some research and it just made me angry at this. He had some of the best players we've ever had for ages and he ruined it and did nothing. And then he went to Palace.
Oh, he does give big vibes of one of those knobheads in a suit in a London
He does,
bar.
and I mean, the dance is famous and renowned now, but
He
you just would not want him to be there. He's the guy who's dropped his coat on the floor and he's annoyed about it 1 minute, and then on the other hand, he's laughing and joking at jokes that aren't funny. The next, just
he'd
no.
knock your pint out your hands accidentally and be like, "Oh, sorry mate, I'll get that," and then you'll never see him again.
No, he's gone. He's off.
Yeah.
Right.
See him 2 hours later in the smoking area and was like, "Oh yeah, your pint, yeah, I'll get that in a bit." Yeah.
Yeah, in a bit. I'll be right with you, mate. 2
The
seconds.
smoking area, Scott Parker.
4 hours later. Yeah,
Scott
absolutely.
Parker just
Those-
vibes in the smoking area.
And I had another honourable mention as well that I thought that would be absolutely awful. No offence to him, but Martin Jol. I don't remember if you remember him.
Yeah.
Of Fulham fame, managed Tottenham.
No.
I think it just resembles the most boring looking grumpy man I think you could ever see. He's the kind that you've walked into the pub with him and he's like, no, just leaves.
Yeah, you'd be sat at the table just like waiting for someone to speak.
Oh, just
It's one of those ones again. It's like, I'm sure he's a lovely man, but you just don't fancy one-on-one pint with him, do you?
no, absolutely
Not a one-on-one
no way.
pint, definitely
Not at all.
You need a few more. You need some chatters that can kind of keep it going
Yeah.
while he drinks in the corner. See, one I'd almost like it, but also I think I'd do my nut in is Tim Sherwood.
Oh, he would do your nutting. Come on.
Like-
Again, David Brent vibes.
Big David Brent vibes, yeah.
I mean, the only reason they wheel him out is to be wrong about Tottenham as a pundit. So,
Yeah.
so like,
It's
just be
almost, you know, when you're one of those pundits that they get out for clicks,
Yeah.
your opinions are probably a bit
Yeah.
off.
I think Neil Warnock could be quite amusing,
He'd be a big no for me.
but at the same time, it depends how grumpy he is.
I'd be worried he'd say too many things that I fully didn't agree with, and I didn't want to be part of his party.
Yeah,
No accusations.
he does
No.
have a bit of that vibe about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, we've already done the greatest quotes. That'll be
Yeah, he's up there.
Think up there.
Yeah.
Got it wrong again.
Just point with both, and then you
Think
can't
up
get it
there.
wrong.
Yeah, see that.
Right.
Should we have a quick spin through England managers?
Yeah, right.
ones?
Sven. I think
Sven would be
Sven
amazing.
would be
I
amazing.
think Sven Enriquez, yeah.
Just for the you just want to hear about him dating a cheeky girl. I just think that's that's awesome up there.
Yeah.
Alongside the how did you manage so many good players and just do nothing?
Right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get the full list, and we're gonna give him a 5-star rating. All right. We'll go from the ones we know.
Okay.
So we'll start Bobby Robson. I think probably a good solid 5. I think he'd be
Solid 5.
Yeah.
so interesting.
Definitely.
Graham Taylor, probably a 3.
Yeah,
I
let's go
know.
for 3. I think that's a bit pedestrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terry Venables, almost similar vibes to Warnock, probably like.
Yeah, probably like a 1, a 2.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
go
know what he's
3, I
going to
think.
say. Yeah, from what I've seen, because was he? He was manager during Euro '96 as well, which was
Oh yeah.
a pretty good one. Yeah, I'll give him a 3. Glenn Hoddle seems lovely. I reckon he'd be all right.
Yeah, he'd be alright about a 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for football stuff 4. But yeah, keep it with football, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Howard Wilkinson, caretaker. Oh, 1 game. Do not know it. Who is he?
It was that. I don't know. Sorry,
Howard
I've not got
Wilkinson.
any. You made that up to me.
He managed 1 game as caretaker in '99 when Hoddle left, and 1 game as caretaker in 2000 when Keegan left. So yeah, that's Keegan.
If you know who
next.
that person is, write a comment down below.
Yeah, who is he?
I think he'd be a strong 4 for me. I think he'd be quite interesting, but that's a bit.
I think that's the Newcastle coming out here as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think he'd be interesting enough. I give him a 4.
I'll go 3.
Yeah, like we said, so we got to Sven. Solid 5 for me.
Yeah, Sven.
He'd be so interesting.
Just hearing about that World Cup as well. I'd love to hear about
Yeah.
the World Cup. And
Steve McLaren, probably a solid 1.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I'd probably push it to. I'd probably push it to a 2. Yeah.
Capello,
So,
probably a 2.
Again,
2 again.
2.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
dead. Isn't
It marks us growing up and watching England. It marks the banter era for England, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't even funny at points.
Stuart Pearce,
Yeah.
caretaker, 1 game. Got to give him a mention though.
I don't know.
I'd give him a 2.5. He could be amazing, but I'd be on edge. Anything you say
Yeah,
wrong.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. And then we got Roy, 2.
2.
Yeah, 2.
Big Sam, probably a
5.
5.
5, yeah. He's on all of our. He's on all of our lists, and he's be feeling music.
Yeah. And then Southgate.
It's a tough one, Southgate, isn't it? It's tough because you would want to know.
He's a boring man.
But on the other face of it, it's the best World Cup we've ever seen, and I want to hear more about it.
The best summer of my life because of him. So
why did you not throw something at Kane? Why did you not throw something at him? Throw something at him. He should have made the pass, Gareth.
Yeah, I'll give him a 4.
Yeah, I'll go 4.
Right. Should we do a quick FPL corner?
Yeah, you can do.
Right. Start with Simon. How'd your FPL go?
Pretty well, considering I forgot to change my team.
Oh.
Had Werner as captain. Got assists, so 20 points from him. City messed me up because I had Cancelo and Stones. No clean sheets there. Bamford scored, so that's 6 points for me.
Yeah, I had Bamford, so I was quite pleased with him.
Not too bad considering.
I mean, I had Foden in and Salah, which was quite good.
That's solid.
All
the board.
And I mean, Edison in goal kind of flummoxed me a bit, but I had Dunk at the back. He's been quite good the last few weeks.
Very solid, yeah. So I had a lot of really good people on my bench. So that's a solid, let's see, 37 points on my bench, which is annoying because if I bench boost, I would have hit the 100 mark. But you know,
that's the only team of the week then. Is your fantasy?
My team. Yeah, Gundogan. He's been firing the goals in recently, and he's on my bench. Villa getting a clean sheet screwed me because I had a goalkeeper and a defender. Right, one recommendation for next week. Who'd you go for?
I'm gonna say Werner
Werner.
because I think
couple
he
assists.
is slowly getting better. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Baines? One recommendation.
I'm tempted to get him. I don't know if it's going to be a gamble or not, but I'm tempted to get Lingard just because there's something different, and West Ham have been in quite good form, whereas Salah gets me points, but at the same time they're just so inconsistent. It can be like 2 points or it can be like 12. You don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to go Mason Mount. I brought him in for Salah and captained him, so that just about paid off. I think he's just class. Chelsea are looking a bit better as well. Tuchel quite likes him. Like, he didn't play his first game and then he's played since. So yeah, I'm going to go Mount. But don't bench Gundogan. That's my other tip. Just don't bench him.
Just don't bench him.
Right then. I
That's it then.
believe it's Tim Pot Team of the Week time.
Tim Pot Team of the Week.
We can't really put Liverpool, can we?
We've done it too often, I think. We've
And it's
done
City. Losing 4-1 to City.
Losing to City's not that bad, is it?
Who? And we can't really give it to Arsenal for losing to Villa because Villa are better than Arsenal.
Yeah. And Tottenham beat West Brom. So
I mean, just maybe I might go United for the Everton game.
I mean,
draw.
To be honest, since the last episode, Southampton have lost 9-0, so I don't think we can give it to anyone else.
Yeah, it's just them again, isn't it? The patron saints of Tim Pot.
9-0 is very Tim Pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Newcastle, who are...
And then they lost to Bruce
so,
Ball.
Yeah, Bruce Ball. I mean, Almiron scored. I mean, just let that digest.
Southampton, Tim Pot Team of the Week. Simon?
Tim Pot Team of the Week.
Oh,
majestic.
The elongate of that. Love that. Right. I think we're done.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks for listening.
That's all right.
Like, subscribe, comment. What do we want? All aboard the field train. All aboard the field train. Tell your friends. We're on 100 subscribers. If you're coming here from another clickbait video that's got big, thank you. Welcome. Subscribe.
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 Subscribe. I hope we can all be out of lockdown soon because things could get worse.
It's just going to get worse. There'll be clubs live streams before you know it.
Yeah, there could well be. Twitter, Winley Pod. Instagram, Winley Pod. Email us, please. We're still waiting on that first email.
The email's never in the description. Just saying.
It's in the about section.
It'll be down there.
It's in the about section, but I'll put it down there from now on because
on the video. You know.
Yeah, it'll be there. And
direct
for you audio listeners, it'll be on the Spotify description too. Don't you worry. Simon, what is the email? Remind us, please.
win.lose.drawyt@gmail.com.
It's got it in one. That's why I tried to do it the other week and absolutely ruined it. So Simon does it from
you
now
said
on.
win or lose.
Win draw lose. You've got to name your own podcast.
Yeah. You know, it's only been 8 months?
How many episodes?
You. 27.
27.
I know. Yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers, Simon. Cheers, Baines.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.